Hi friends, good evening. Good evening to everyone. First tell me if I am audible and visible clearly to all of you. Good evening, Amit, Srinivas, Simanshu, Partha, Sivakumar. I'm good. How are you doing, guys? How is it? It's very cold in North India now. Good evening to Northeast India and to other parts of the country. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? So one exam is over, another one in the process. So SBI process is going on, still going on. Prelims is over, mains is yet to happen, and many people are already in the process of preparing for the next year's exam, right? So yeah. I mean, it's an interactive session, guys. I'll tell you the genesis of this session. कैसे ये schedule करा. So you're aware of the changes in the schedule that have been happening in the last couple of years because of COVID. So what has happened because of it is that at times it's SBI PO that happens first, at times it's IBPS PO, the whole calendar has gone awry. So that is the reason when IBPS is over, the process is over, except for the interviews, the written thing is over, SBI happens after that. So many people are now thinking of starting the preparation for 2023. Many are still in this 2022 cycle and not sure what to do. So, many such questions. We thought that we'll do one such session and answer all of that in one go. Okay, somebody was asking before I, arrive at this bank exam, somebody was asking about RBI grade B. So guys, we haven't decided about RBI grade B exams now because the last two cycles were pretty long, like 15-month cycles. So we decided to, if we do RBI grade B program this year, it will be a shortish program, fine. And we'll do it in and around notification. So right now at this stage, you're not thinking about RBI grade B. We might launch an RBI grade B program at some stage later. So if you are planning to start your preparation right away, I would want you to start through whatever other resources you have zeroed in on and not wait for us and waste time, right? So I would not want you to do that. In case you just want to know if you would do it at a later stage or not do it, I cannot say 100%, but yes, we are planning to do an RBI grade B program at some stage. But please do not put your preparation on hold waiting for us to start, fine? So that will be a waste of time. Please don't do that. We'll do an English session, we'll do a quant session, we'll do everything. So this time the agenda is to give you a generic thing about how to start and what to do at this stage. So many of you are actually confused about what exactly to do at this stage. So first things first, I'll start by talking about those people who are still in the process of 2022, right? So there are many students who are still in the process of 2022 in the sense that they have appeared for IBPS PO, are waiting for the results. They have appeared for prelims of SBI PO, waiting for the results, and there is probably a mains happening. So guys, unless you are somebody whose exams were so bad that you have got absolutely no hope of making it this year, concentrate on 2022. Right. So if you're somebody who has taken prelims and is hopeful, the paper was good and you're confident about it, focus on 2022. This 2023 things comes after that, right? If you are somebody whose exams were not good or you are already out of the race for IBPS PO, SBI PO prelims not bad, and within yourself that the preparation was not up to the mark, आप तैयार नहीं थे ठीक से, पेपर ठीक नहीं हुआ, and there is no chance you'll make it this year, then you start thinking about 2023 right away. For those others who think that they still have a chance in 2022 cycle, why would you not want to make it? And in any case, it's a lot of time left for 2023 exams. Though I would want you to start early, but you can still give it a go. I don't know. I mean, I believe SBI PO main exam should also happen in around a month's time. So it's just a month to go. Focus on that first and then think about 2023 exams. But those of you who are sitting idle, for whatever reason you are starting afresh, you did not do well this year, आपने ठीक से पढ़ाई नहीं की थी, the exams did not go well, now don't waste time, fine? So the earlier you start, the better it becomes for you. So it is as simple as that. Okay, so this is one question that I was expecting to face. I started in 2020, I started in 2019, started in 2021. So it's been like 2-3 years already and have not been successful. What do I do now? Should I prepare for 2023 or not? देखो इसमें ना बहुत आसान है ज्ञान देना. I can say keep trying till you fail. ऐसा आपने पढ़ा होगा बहुत सारे motivational lines. Even I can speak here. I would say be realistic. Fine. Don't be a pessimist. Don't be an optimist. Be a realist. Fine. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is डिसाइड फॉर योर सेल्फ, खुद से डिसाइड करो. आस्क योर सेल्फ दिस सिंपल क्वेश्चन एंड लिसन टू इट वेरी केयरफुली. ध्यान से सुनो, आपको जवाब मिल जाएगा इस चीज़ का. 2-3 चीज़ों से अपने आप से पूछो. जस्ट आस्क योर सेल्फ अ कपल ऑफ थिंग्स. डिड यू हैव, और यू नो आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट लास्ट ईयर, द राइट रिसोर्सेज टू प्रिपेयर. सब कुछ था आपके पास, जो भी आप कोर्स लेना चाहते थे, जो भी बुक्स आपको चाहिए थी, जो भी टेस्ट सीरीज थी, व्हाट एवर रीज़न, अगर कुछ भी रिसोर्सेज में कमी थी तो डेफिनेटली आपका वो बेस्ट प्रिपरेशन नहीं था. इफ द आंसर इज येस, यू डिड हैव द राइट रिसोर्सेज, डिड यू पुट इन योर बेस्ट. एंड द सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज, डिड यू पुट इन योर बेस्ट. आपने अपने तरफ से पूरी मेहनत की थी जितनी करनी चाहिए थी. डिड यू पुट इन योर बेस्ट एफर्ट, बेस्ट फुट फॉरवर्ड. फाइन. इफ द आंसर इज नो, then you again have got every reason to prepare again. If the answer is still yes, fine, the answer to both the questions is yes, you did have the right resources, the best resources, according to what you feel are the best resources, and you did put in your best effort. Then there is a third question. The third question is, did the exam go well? Because when you're talking about a country like India, which is like hugely populated, and you are good, fine, आप अच्छे हो, उसके बाद भी since the vacancies are so few, इतनी कम होती हैं, ऐसा हो सकता है that you can have a bad day, and it happens, it always happens. You are aware of many cases in which the person clears the PO exam, fails in the clerk exams, isn't it? That happens. So my 3 questions were, did you have the right resources, did you work hard with those resources, and did you think that you did your best on the exam day. कई बार होता है ना कि सब कुछ किया but exam के दिन अच्छा नहीं हुआ, the exam did not go well. ठीक है, stroke of bad luck happens. So if the answer is no, I was not really satisfied with my performance, though I was satisfied with my preparation, then again you have to take it. But if you are saying, so who are the only category of people to which I am saying छोड़ दो कुछ और सोचो. It is those people you are saying I did have the right resources. 1, I worked really hard, very hard, बहुत मेहनत की थी और सब कुछ किया था जो कर सकता था. And also the third one, I think I performed optimally in the exam. मतलब मैंने अपनी हैसियत के हिसाब से, अपनी तैयारी के हिसाब से बढ़िया परफॉर्म करा. आई डिड माई बेस्ट इन द एग्जाम डे एज वेल. आई कुड नॉट हैव डन बेटर. आई डिड हैव द राइट रिसोर्सेज. आई रियली वर्कड हार्ड एंड आई थिंक माई एग्जाम वेंट वेल एज वेल. सब कुछ ठीक हुआ और फिर भी नहीं हुआ. एंड यू हैव बीन ट्राइंग फॉर 3-4 years. दो आई हेट टू से इट, आई सीरियसली, आई एम एडमिटिंग इट, आई हेट टू से इट, आई वुड स्टिल से आप सोच सकते हो किसी ऑल्टरनेट करियर के बारे में. बट इन तीनों में से किसी भी सवाल का जवाब ना है. To any of these 3 questions, answer is no. Resources नहीं थे, पढ़ाई नहीं करी, एग्जाम वाले दिन कुछ हो गया. क्यों नहीं करोगे यार? करोगे. So many people make it. Why can you not make it? The only reason why you should believe or start believing now that this probably is not made for you. It doesn't mean that you're bad or anything. No, make no mistake. खराब नहीं हो आप. Probably this is not the field for you. It's okay. It's fine. There's so many other things in life, right? हो सकता है कुछ और आपके लिए लिखा हो, तो उस केस में आप इसको छोड़ने का सोच सकते हो. बट उसमें भी मैं एक और चीज बोलूंगा आपको, सोचना एंड देन यू डिसाइड. डू यू हैव अ प्लान इन माइंड? आप क्या करोगे? सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ समबडी सेज माय डैड हैज अ some kind of a business, some shop, something, some business, and it's not bad, it's good. It's just that I wanted to try my hand at all these things. This really fascinated me. मेरे को ये करना था, कर लिया, and the answer is yes to all these questions. सोच सकते हो वापस जाने का उसमें. ऐसे और भी ऑल्टरनेट्स हो सकते हैं. बट इफ यू आर समबडी हु रियली थिंक्स कि इस सब के बाद भी मेरे पास ऑप्शन तो कुछ और है ही नहीं, आई डोंट हैव एन ऑप्शन. हो सकता है ना, मतलब आपने डिसाइड किया दैट यू लीव इट, बट व्हाट नेक्स्ट? क्या करोगे उसके बाद में? सो डोंट थिंक अबाउट व्हाट नेक्स्ट आफ्टर यू हैव लेफ्ट द प्रिपरेशन, राइट? थिंक अबाउट दैट व्हाट नेक्स्ट नाउ एट दिस स्टेज. इफ यू गॉट योर आंसर, आपको पता है आपको क्या करना है इसके बाद में, इसको छोड़ के, इन बुक्स को छोड़ के, इस तैयारी को छोड़ के एकदम जाओ यार, चले जाओ. कुछ मतलब दिस इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, एकदम ही नहीं, फार फ्रॉम इट. बट कुछ प्लान बना के जाना है. ऐसे मत करना एट टाइम्स, यू नो, वी फील दैट द बर्डन हैज गॉन ऑफ वंस वी डिसाइड कि इसको छोड़ देते हैं. ठीक है, 1-2 दिन बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, अरे यार खत्म हुआ, मैथ्स क्वांट रीजनिंग दिमाग खराब कर दिया था, कुछ हो नहीं रहा था, लाइफ में डिप्रेशन था. बट वॉट आफ्टर अ कपल ऑफ डेज? वो तो और भी ब्लीक हो जाएगा ना. अभी एटलीस्ट आई हैड अ रे ऑफ होप बिकॉज I was doing something, right? And I'm talking about those people who are working hard, still not successful. What now? So look at that what now first and then take this call. And when you take this call, don't look back at it. वो मत करना जो एग्जाम में भी करते हैं ना, एक क्वेश्चन करा, अटेम्प्ट किया, बाहर निकल के फिर वापस आया. नहीं, हो गया. I've decided, I've moved out of it. Now I'll try my best at whatever is the next avenue for me that I've planned for myself. I hope I've been able to explain. This is not a yes or no kind of an answer. That's why I wanted an explanation like that. Decide for yourself, guys. Okay, so this is one question that people ask. You are working as a clerk, right? And you are thinking of doing something better in life, right? So PO exams, that's an option. RBI grade B is also an option. Which one do you choose? Look, RBI grade B phase 1 is much like PO exams. Very similar. I will not say it's the same exam, but it's very similar. So if you are if you are preparing for PO exams, RBI grade B phase 1 should not be a problem for you. There is some difference. GK carries a heavier weightage in RBI grade B phase 1, but more or less on similar lines, you can do that. So if you are thinking of preparing for RBI grade B, bank exams can be a kind of a subset, right? But RBI grade B phase 2 is a different beast. It's a different animal. It's a different kind of an exam. It's a very vast syllabus. It's very different from what you have learnt in school. Some people might have studied some part of it during college at some stage, but it's very different. The syllabus is vast and will require a lot of time and effort, even compared to what preparation you have done for your SBI, IBPS clerk, PO exams, right? So if you are thinking of RBI grade B, bank exams happen automatically like that. Some tweaks here and there, they are possible. So basically you will need to decide whether you want to take RBI grade B along with PO exams or not. SBI, IBPS PO, dena hi hai. You have to take them, because without this preparation, you will not be able to clear even RBI grade B phase 1. So the choice is between bank PO only or bank PO plus RBI grade B. You get the point? Bank PO only or bank PO plus RBI grade B. Because this preparation, without this preparation, you would not be able to clear even RBI grade B phase 1. Another reason is that most of you who are working as clerks, right, have done this preparation. There is no difference, absolutely no difference in the preparation between clerk exams and PO exams, except for the mock tests. So there is no difference in the basics, nothing. You are aware of that. So if you have done this once, have not been able to clear this, try again. Why would you not? You are not starting from scratch. You are not a beginner. You are not uninitiated, right? You know everything. सब कुछ तो किया हुआ है. थोड़ा सा effort निकल जाएगा. RBI grade B is it's a couple of steps up. So think of it like that. Hi Lokendra, good to see you here. Okay, Vignesh, I think I've made a session on this. Ratnaba sir has discussed this. So this is one question. Again, I was expecting this. How do I manage CGL tier 2, CGL, SSCGL tier 2 along with the bank exams? So if you're talking about SBI PO mains, which would happen after around a month, and SSCGL tier 2, I would say focus a little more on SBI at this stage, and you will be left with some time after SBI PO mains for SSCGL tier 2. Tier 1 is already done, prelims for SBI PO is already done. Then focus on CGL tier 2 after that. Most of the stuff, or much of the stuff, a large part of the syllabus that you do for SBI in any case is going to help you for SSCGL. Right? The question types and everything is very different, but the concepts remain the same. So focus a little more towards SBI PO mains till the time this exam happens, and then you can shift the focus completely towards SSCGL tier 2 along with preparing for the interview. I'll put it like that. Okay, Sundar, we do have a lot of stuff for interview preparation on this channel. Just go to the playlist section and you will find 4 or 5 playlists related to the interview. We have got complete guidance about interview preparation. Fine. So please start going through it. You will understand. We'll do a session also probably once the results and everything come out and people actually start preparing seriously for the interview. But you can just start going through the playlist. You will get all the stuff that you need to prepare for it. Sakti, the answer is yes. Would I be able to clear it in the first attempt if I put my heart and soul into it? Yes. Will I be able to? Yes. आप पूछ रहे हो possible है कि नहीं? Yes, it's definitely a possibility. Look, I'll be very honest in this. I'll say many good people who are very well prepared, have got everything, fail in the first attempt. Many of them, because the seats are limited. SBI has got 2,500 vacancies like that. 2,500 vacancies होती हैं. How can all 10 lakh people who appear for it make it? नहीं हो सकता ना. So even if I believe that only 10 or 20,000 people are sincere, just for a moment let's take a hypothetical number, even they cannot make it, right? So it's not that everybody who is sincere, who works hard, who's got the right resources will make it, but your probability of converting it, making it, clearing at least a couple of those exams, you will be taking 5 or 6, increases manifold when you're sincere, you've got the right resources and you're putting your heart and soul into it. You got the point? I'll put it like this. It's easy for me to say, you do it and you'll 100% make it. Yeah, I would want to believe that, you would want to believe that, but since the nature of this competition is such that at times accidents do happen, even very good students. So you have to keep this in mind. ऐसा मत करना कि अगर नहीं हुआ इस साल जान दे दूंगा. No, you do not have to give your life for that. नहीं होगा अगले साल हो जाएगा. But yes, when you start preparing, you obviously just have to think about one thing, that I have to make it count. I have to make it this year only. And so many students do it. So many students do it in the first attempt. So make your target like that, but be realistic. I mean, what I say in such cases is that just hope for the best, give your best, hope for the best, and be prepared for the worst. Give your best, hope for the best to happen to you, and be prepared for the worst. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर ऐसा नहीं हुआ तो मैं मर जाऊंगा, खत्म हो जाएगा. Like, no, it's okay, it's fine, I'll do it again, I will make it. I have never seen anybody failing, somebody who puts your puts his life heart and soul into it and preparing and trying repeatedly without getting demotivated. मैंने किसी को नहीं देखा ऐसे में फेल होते हुए. कुछ ना कुछ लिखा होगा आपके लिए, डेफिनेटली हो जाएगा. Okay, I was expecting this question. My opinion on IBPS PO Mains 2022 Quant section. देखो थोड़ा सा ना इसमें you'll have to, many of you took this test. I'm talking about IBPS PO Mains Quant section. This is related to Quant now, because you will say, sir, when the papers like this come, how do I prepare? देखो पेपर में when you talk about this, it was undoubtedly a tough paper. I have not taken the test, so whatever I'm saying, I'm talking on the basis of whatever I've interacted with the students. It was undoubtedly a paper which was on the tougher side. We have seen easier papers in Quant Mains previously, right? But what was it like? I'll tell you what I understood about the paper. I believe it was a bit on the logical side, because there have been students who were like quite good at calculations and everything. Even they struggled, बहुत कम किया. There are students who were not good and उन्होंने भी struggle किया. So the obvious question comes, what is the difference in? I am good at quant, my friend is not. Both of us have ruined the paper. So I would ask you to look at it objectively. Even if you are getting in a tough paper, say 10 marks, 15 marks, whatever marks, and your friend is getting a 2 or a 3 or a 2.5 or a 0, you still have that 10 marks advantage. So it's not that everything goes down the drain if the paper is tough. 2, the paper is, I think, going a little logical. So when you look at all the test series and all, if you have to make a tough paper, most of them, I will not say all of them, but most of the times, the sets that they call tough are very calculation intensive. So what they will do is that if I'm say looking at a tough set in quant mains, in DI mains, main exam for DI mock test. So a tough set invariably would be a set in which there are a lot of steps involved. So for example, if it's a time and work question, you would say 4 people start doing a task, then 3 people leave, then 2 people join in, then 1 person leave, then 10 people join in, and 15 per. I mean, क्या करवा रहे हो यार? You get the point. So these are the kind of questions which involve a lot of drudgery. गंदा काम, मुश्किल काम, करते रहो, आंसर तो निकल आएगा. Fine. So this is their definition of tough questions. I believe they have started giving you, ये तो रहता ही रहता है. Apart from it, they have started giving you questions that require some thinking. And this is where some students, or I would say rather many students, do falter because they have not been exposed to this kind of sets. So if there is a question that can be solved, but if it looks alien to you, probably because you have not done that kind of a set in test series before, this is where it tends to get a little bad for you. So my suggestion would be, especially for people who have already done this, is that whatever you have done is fine, whatever you are doing still is fine, but expose yourself to some such stuff as well. And you know what the resource is? It's very simple. You just have to, and don't just freak out over it. The resource is very simple. You have heard of CAT? आप बोलोगे क्या मुश्किल टेस्ट का नाम दे रहे हो? नहीं, मुश्किल नहीं है. With whatever you have done, you can solve many of those questions. उसमें एक section आता है, it's called LDI, Logic and Data Interpretation. They give you 8 sets in every question paper. 8 sets with 4 questions each. कुछ भी नहीं करना है, बहुत मजा आएगा करके. You will enjoy doing it. Look at some of those sets. You will, if you have seen the paper clearly, if you had the patience, the temperament to read through the questions, you'll realize that these questions look a little similar to some of those questions, because I believe that these guys have started taking some inspiration from the way this CAT LDI section is section is modeled. हो सकता है, because in the past also I have seen students who have given this feedback कि सर एकदम वैसे ही आ गया था एक आध सेट, तो सारा नहीं होगा. Don't think कि they have started picking questions like that. No, they will never do that. But they can take inspiration definitely from such questions. Why I'm saying this is the resource? Because I have hardly seen any such questions in test series. So this is one way of widening your horizon like that. थोड़ा सा बढ़ा लोगे अपना स्कोप ना, कि अगर ऐसा भी आएगा तो कर लूंगा. तो Calculations and all you in any case practice. Arithmetic and all you get it, so much of it in test series and everything. But if you have to, increase the probability of you being comfortable with the questions that can come. I'm saying can come, will come, nobody knows. क्या आएगा किसी को नहीं पता. But can come in the exam. Do such sets. If they look not doable at all, manageable नहीं है, छोड़ दो. But I'm telling you, if you just leave that fear aside, कि मुझसे तो होगा ही नहीं. अरे cat, how can I do cat? मैं से बैंक नहीं निकल रहा. नहीं, छोड़ दो एक बार. मेरे कहने पे छोड़ दो, करके देखो. Just pick up the paper, last not memory based, they are in public domain, many CAT papers. Just look at a few CAT papers, read the sets patiently, carefully. You'll realize, इतना मुश्किल नहीं है यार, हो सकता है, I can do it. करके देखो. Out of 8 sets, if you give it a patient reading, देखोगे, करोगे, ध्यान से, you put in some time and effort into it, you realize you'll be able to crack a few sets. Now, इतना टाइम कैसे होगा, क्या होगा, निकल आएगा. No, it's all about familiarity. So once you start cracking that, आपका problem solving skills increase होगा. Look, when you have done percentage, profit loss, time speed distance, time and work, a lot of DI, a lot of Vedic maths, a lot of calculations, you are equipped. So where is the problem? The problem is not with what you know then. If you believe you know most of it and still you are faltering, the problem is exposure. You are not into that problem solving mode. You haven't solved enough problems. You have solved a lot of questions, but they were not problems in the sense that many of these questions did not require you to think a lot. They just required you to follow an algorithm, right? Algorithm का मतलब क्या होता है? 4 people start a task, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, start doing it. 3 people leave, 1 person. It's algorithmic. It might take 20 minutes, but it's not a question that actually increases your problem solving skills. So my only suggestion would be that increase your exposure. Wherever you find not a tough but an interesting question, and a question that we do not do becomes tough for us, isn't it? So what is the definition of a tough question? So you give me a CAT question, for example. If I'm able to solve it in 3 minutes, I would say it's an easy question. You don't do it in 30 minutes, you will say it's a tough question. So tough, easy, everything is relative. ये तो सब contextual बातें हैं ना. So since you are not exposed to a variety of stuff, and unfortunately these people do not give us the paper. SSCGL में एक अच्छी बात है, वो paper दे देते हैं. So nobody can say I did not really know this. Bank mein, since you do not get the question paper, what choice do you have? So I am telling you all this on the basis of my interactions with those students who have cleared the exam. Many of them, so many of them. उनका भी ये मानना है कि पेपर थोड़ा सा लॉजिकल हो गया है. So this is the only thing probably that you can change in the way you are preparing. I'm not saying you can leave calculations, you can leave profit loss, time, distance, time and work and everything. No, you have to do it. वो तो करना ही करना है. If you are asking me what more to do to increase my chances of cracking this upcoming SBI PO mains, I don't know what will come in the paper, or 2023 exams, I would say increase your exposure, get into that problem solving mode, get comfortable with the idea of solving something that you have not seen earlier. This is really important. मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूंगा, अपने को इस आइडिया से कंफर्टेबल बनाओ कि अगर कुछ नया आ जाएगा पेपर में, नया मतलब नया प्रॉब्लम, फॉर्मूले वही रहने वाले हैं, पेन तरीके वही रहने वाले हैं, तो मैं घबराऊंगा नहीं और उसे सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करूंगा. दिस इज प्रोबेबली समथिंग दैट इज लैकिंग इन मेनी ऑफ द बैंक एस्पिरेंट्स, एंड हुएवर हैज ट्राइड डूइंग दिस, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने हमारे ट्राई किया है, दे हैव बेनिफिटेड. हुएवर हैज ट्राइड डूइंग दिस हैज बेनिफिटेड. कम से कम नुकसान नहीं होगा, ये मैं डेफिनेटली बोल सकता हूं. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन ट्राई डूइंग फॉर एक्सेलिंग इन the mains section of what do you call it, data analysis and interpretation. It's really going to help you. Don't do it at the cost of what have you been doing. Just add it to your repertoire. जो कर रहे हो करते रहो, इसको add कर लो. Solve 50 such sets, you will gain confidence. करके देखो, एकदम improve होगा यार, एकदम. जो कुछ भी करोगे, that will add to your skills. Fine. The question is, what more can I do? At times you will feel सब कुछ तो किया था, I did everything, still I ruined my paper. तो खराब क्या किया? I don't know what to do, I am clueless. So my answer is for those students, don't start by doing that. No, you're starting today, आपने CAT का पेपर उड़ाया करना है. No, it's not for you. Do percentage, profit loss, time speed distance, time and work and everything. Do all the routine stuff first and then gradually go on to that level. That should be the way. Yes, Anurag, I discussed about it. Yes, it's manageable. There are some differences in CGL and bank exams. Some differences are definitely there, but it's quite manageable. I did a session about it recently, I think around a week back. It was about quant. Ratnavasan has done it earlier. It can be managed. The only problem can be that, if there is a CGL tier 2 exam happening within a week of a bank PO mains exam, then shifting gears can be a bit of a challenge, but there is some gap. The way it is there this time, IBPS PO mains has happened. SBI PO mains will happen in a month's time. and CGL tier 2 probably will be after a couple of months at least. So there will be some gap, should be fine. You can do that. RBI assistant के लिए there is no separate course in there. What we offer for PO exams, most of these people who prepare for PO exams take RBI assistant as well. So the same course suffices. There is no separate course for RBI assistant as well. So after learning and solving arithmetic chapters, when I get back to revise, I forget most of the concepts. Should I prepare by in a loop? Dekho, when you start your preparation, any subject, say let's talk about quant. What is the first problem you face? The first problem, let's start from scratch. So first problem you face is you don't understand. Nahi hota. Some people will understand because of their background, because of their aptitude, because of their comfort level with maths at the school level, right? Some people would not understand. So if you are comfortable with it, very good, you move forward. If you're not comfortable with, what would you do? You would spend some more time into it, and you would be, would try to make yourself content with the fact that ठीक है, थोड़ा सा टाइम दूंगा आ जाएगा, and सबको आ जाता है. Everybody understands eventually. This is the first step. When you learn the concepts, then you move to the next one. I learn the concepts, I understand everything, but I tend to forget. Now, what is it? What is the key to it? What is the key to retention? Tell me about everything. Quant, English, vocabulary, general awareness. What is the key to retention? And you know the answer. आपको पता है सबको आंसर. What is the key to retention? किसी भी चीज को याद रखने की कुंजी क्या है? बताओ आप. Revision. it's the revision. Multiple revision. So, if you're very smart, you can probably retain everything after a couple of revisions. If you're dull like me, you will probably take 5 revisions. What is it? And is there anything else? Can I prescribe a tonic for it? No. You know the answer yourself. Revise karna hai. So, yes, it's a common problem. When students tell me, sir, when you explain, I get it in a couple of attempts. At times, मुश्किल होती है, but आ जाता है. The problem is that after doing time and work, when I go back to percentage, I realize that I've forgotten everything. So what is so strange about it? इसके अंदर नया क्या है बताओ? अब तो सुपरमैन हो जाते वरना नहीं हो सकता ना. How is it that possible यार? जो चीजें मैंने इतने साल में सीखी, you expect to master it in a couple of months. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना. Put in some more effort, revise it a couple of times, you will understand and you will retain and you will apply those same concepts and crack problems through it. What is required? Some more effort, some more time, burn that proverbial midnight oil and it will show the results. Don't worry about it. Vivek, I talked about the LDI section. It's called Logic and Data Interpretation. So there are 8 sets in every paper. Just do some of those sets. You will you'll realize that those are such good problems that they actually increase your ability to solve new problems. That is the reason I prescribed it. Just go through it. You'll realize. Do the last 4-5 years, Debanjan, for it to be relevant to, say you are preparing for SBI PO mains. You'll ask me kitna karna hai. So just look at the last 3-4 years papers, LDI section. Don't do it at the cost of anything else. That's the disclaimer. You want to do something additional? Do some of those LDI sets from last 3-4 years CAT papers. It might help in the exam. It should help in the exam rather. Okay. Sir, subjects manage nahi hote hain, means how to manage time for each subject. It's a what you've asked is a very broad question. 2-3 चीजें मैं इसमें advise करता हूँ generally. Be regular in all the subjects. So when you're saying subjects manage नहीं होते हैं, so try and realize what are your strengths and weaknesses. So for example, if I'm somebody who's good at quant, for example, just take an example, okay in reasoning and really poor in English. एक बार मान लेते हैं, it is like that. So when I make my schedule, I will ration the time like that. I will allot the times like that. I'm not I'm never in great favor of making very strict schedules unless you are like extremely undisciplined. बहुत खराब कुछ लोग नहीं होते एकदम कोई discipline नहीं है. Otherwise don't make very strict timetables. But what I'll keep in mind is that, say for example, if I'm bad in English, so and my teacher has prescribed कि आपको 1 घंटा रोज reading करनी है. You have to read a lot and at least an hour daily is really important. Then I'll make sure that I don't miss out on that. Fine. Make schedules like that and then stick to it and then penalize yourself for not following them. अपने को सजा दो. किस फॉर्म की मुझे नहीं पता, but do something. Once you make a plan for it, a flexible one. It should not be like I get up at 8:15, sit for breakfast at 8:50, 8:45. I start mugging up tables and then 9:15. Don't make such rigid ones. If it works for you, wonderful. You can go ahead. But make schedules like I'll give a couple of hours in the morning to my quant preparation. I'll solve this chapter and then we'll move to some reading around noon. Make schedules like that. Before the day gets over, I will solve a couple of RC passages. I'll do this session and make it like that, and you should be able to manage time. The schedules go awry when things like this happen. So for example, I'm in a mood to solve puzzles today, and in my flow of solving puzzles, I just forget that I had to do that reading today, and वो करना था, फिर RC solve करना था. Otherwise, it should happen. Because if the problem is that you're saying that you've got 4 hours and you have to manage quant, reasoning, English, everything, and you end up giving all 4 hours to quant, no time left for reasoning and English, then I am no magician. I cannot give you a tip in which you can manage all 3 in 4 hours. What is the solution to that? You know that yourself. Increase that 4 hours to 8 hours. Now you'll tell me, sir, I'm working already. How do I make it 8 hours? Yeah, you'll have to find time. If it's important for you, you'll have to find time. Look, efficiency and everything is fine. But आप उसको stretch तो अगर नहीं करोगे and आपको ज़रूरत है, there are people who manage within 3 hours a day, but their preparedness at that point might be different than yours. So if you're saying I'm short on time कम पड़ता है मुझे, तो time बढ़ाओ. So it's not about schedule, it's about the amount of time that you're giving to your preparation, which is probably insufficient considering the stage of your preparation. अभी आपकी तैयारी उतनी नहीं है कि आप 4 घंटे से काम चला लो, आपको probably 8 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ेगा. उसको इस तरीके से देखो. But if this is not the problem, if the problem is that time sufficient है, मेरा वो थोड़ा सा skewed हो जाता है. I give most of the time to quant because I love doing it. Then be a little more disciplined, यार. Give yourself daily tasks. So don't give tasks like, I will solve RC from 3:15 to 3:45. You might end up doing just one passage. Give yourself tasks like, I'll read for an hour, I'll do this session, whatever session, I'll solve 4 RC passages, and I will revise that word list that I did the day before. Done? समझ में आया? इतना पढ़ूंगा, ये 4 पैसेज सॉल्व करूंगा और सोने से पहले वो 50 वर्ड्स करूंगा जो मैंने परसों याद किया था. कर सकते हो यार. Stick to it. It's your career, your life. Isn't it important for you? How can you miss on these deadlines? Be disciplined. It's going to pay rich dividends even in your future life. Yes. You can do those videos. In fact, any videos. In fact, for all of our videos, I ask many of the people who are not great at the subject to do them multiple times, and you will extract something out of it, right? Because we compress so much of knowledge in those small sessions by taking a variety of questions and all that, that if you are getting everything in one go, then you are actually at a stage of a preparation in which you're good. But if you're somebody who just started doing a session a couple of times, 3 times at an easy pace, it's all okay, it's fine. Do it a few times, do it till you feel comfortable with it, with all the concepts and everything, and should be good. Akash, देखो तैयारी तो करनी चाहिए. It's very difficult to comment on whether you will get a call or not with just the number of attempts, because the difficulty level, everything varies, accuracy varies. But till the time the result is announced, tell yourself that you have got a chance to make it, right? Unless and until you have done really badly in the test, everybody should believe that you've got a chance to get a call, fine? Because I've seen it every time, every year, it happens with every exam, that many people would come to us and say, sir, I wasted my time after prelims, assuming that I would not make it. Now I've got a call. What do I do in the next 20 days? Obviously, we tell what to do in the next 20 days, but it would have been better had the person continued. So continue. Do not make conjectures. Do not make any assumptions. Work on the assumption that you will make it. If you don't make it, God forbid, if you don't make it, नहीं हुआ भगवान अगर ऐसा हो, लेकिन अगर नहीं होता है, then think about 2023. अभी ये assume मत करो. Sanjeev is asking, sir, how to give mocks and analyze. So I'll take a step back and start by telling you when to start taking the mock tests, because this is the primary question. We're talking about 2023 exams. Guys, the time to make mock tests would be, I'll not tell you in terms of exams, but you should wait at least till the time you have finished the bulk of your preparation, until unless the exam is right there. Fine. So if the exam is like 15 days away, you're left with some syllabus, you don't have a choice, you'll have to take a mock test. Start taking the mock tests, right? But if the exam is like 5 months away and you have done just half the syllabus, I would not recommend taking a mock test. So there is no do's and don'ts when it comes to mock tests. It's about what the current circumstances. Exam kab hai? Exam SBI PO mains you're talking about. You'll have to start taking the mock tests very soon now. If not today, then probably after 10 days. But you cannot wait for it any longer. If you're talking about 2023 exams, it's not the time to take mock tests. Build your fundamentals first. सारा syllabus खत्म करो. Do sectional tests, practice questions, get comfortable with language, with puzzles, with everything, and then get into the mock tests. What are mock tests for? Now I'll come to your question. What are mock tests for? क्या purpose क्या होता है? for every preparation, for every student, for whatever exam you're preparing, there are two stages of preparation. One is getting acquainted with the concepts, learning the fundamentals, learning the subjects, learning the language, learning all those fun day that will come in handy to solve the questions. Fine. उस सबको acquire करना is the first stage of preparation. Second stage is getting that ability to convert this knowledge into marks. Because we talk about school and college and everything, stage one is everything. Once I know it, I know I can just regurgitate all that when the paper comes. हो जाता था. This is how this aptitude test, and this is an aptitude test, it's different from our normal school and college exams. So there, if you knew your geography concepts or even maths concepts, there's a good chance they'll, if not 100%, get an 80-90%, right? Here it doesn't happen like that, because the paper is designed in a manner in which your test taking ability becomes equally important. So mock tests help in that. I know so many good students who scored a 95-97% in board exams without taking a single mock test. Even you know that. पता है ना आपको? बहुत सारे लोगों ने कोई mock test नहीं दिया, board में बहुत अच्छे number आए. क्यों? That test, that exam, the school exam, the college exam does not actually require you to take mock tests. How is this different? This is an aptitude test, because here mock tests make you better at things like question selection, ability to perform under pressure, doing the right questions, doing them without making any mistakes, optimizing your score, things like that. Because if you look at a test, say we talk about a mains test, SBI PO mains quant test, for example. If I give you time till evening, you will probably solve everything. If not everything, out of 60 marks, you will do 40-45 marks. What is the problem? The problem is that you have to perform and try to get the best score possible for you under that time constraint. And that is the reason why mock tests are important. Now think about it. Till the time you have learned the concepts, how do you expect to convert your knowledge into marks by using mock tests? So that first stage comes first, acquiring the knowledge, and then comes the second one. Now I know the things. Now I need to get better at my mock taking skills or test taking skills. This is called test taking skills, wherein a person who has got same knowledge as you, let's take a hypothetical example. There are two people, X and Y, both equally good, equally sharp, equally prepared. X takes 3, 4, 5 mock tests, analyzes them properly, and then goes to the main exam, the real exam. And Y does not take any exams. I can bet on it that X would do better. Why? Because of the conditioning. The things, the mistakes that X would have made in the actual exam happened in the mock tests. नहीं होंगी गलतियां कुछ, उनसे सीखेगा. So that person would learn through those mistakes and would try and not repeat them. It can be so many lessons that you get through them. But the important part would be analysis. Take mock tests. Here on this channel, we have done videos in which we have talked about how to analyze mock tests, how to analyze, any exam that you take to practice and all those things. Go through those sessions, you will understand how to do it. But the crux would be to not repeat any mistakes. I mean, if you want to ask me, how does it help? It helps in conditioning. It helps you, anticipate the potential problems that can happen in your real exam, actual exam, which is going to happen after a few days. तो उनको आप पहले से पता लगा पाओ, इसके लिए mock test help कर रहा है. But उसके लिए जरूरी क्या है? What is important for that? That after taking a test, you spend enough time to understand what you learn from it. Mock tests is not to learn the concepts. Yes, some revision does happen. So if you solve a times to distance problem in a mock test, that is a revision for you, right? Isn't it? If you come across a word that you learned recently, it's a revision of that word. But the primary objective of mock tests is not to revise. The revision happens automatically. The primary objective is to hone your test taking skills, improve your test taking skills, make you a better test taker, and get you in a position in which you can extract more marks out of the same knowledge. This is the key. More marks out of the same knowledge. You and me are at the same level in terms of knowledge. Fine. I do some mock tests, analyze, realize my mistakes, the mistakes that I can make in the exam, take a note of it, work on them consciously. I'll do better than you in the exam, though we have that same knowledge. And this is where mock test is important. Now, if you understand the purpose, you would not ask this question to anybody, कब लगाना है mock test, कितने लगाने हैं mock test, जरूरत के हिसाब से यार, जरूरत के हिसाब से. कोई डॉक्टर सेम पिल प्रिस्क्राइब करता है क्या सब पेशेंट्स को? नहीं करता ना यार. इवन मल्टीविटामिन भी सेम नहीं प्रिस्क्राइब करता है. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट. सो व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट? इफ यू बिलीव यू आर डूइंग वेल इन द मॉक टेस्ट, बट you think RC is that one part in which you're struggling continuously, what would you do? Leave mock tests for 4-5 days, go back to RC lectures, do those lectures, solve some 50 RC passages, and then you'll come back to mock tests. Now this would be different for somebody who's saying, I struggle in puzzles of mains, rest all is fine. अब मैं दोनों को same चीज recommend करूंगा क्या? नहीं. That second person would do the same thing for puzzles. We'll spend some more time with the puzzles, solve 20, 30 good puzzles. After that, come back to mock tests. There might be somebody else who says, I don't have any specific problem area, so no problem with puzzles, no problems with RC as such, but I believe I tend to get stuck in questions. Fine, I get emotional about questions, so it can be an RC passage, it can be a puzzle, it can be a DI set, but I tend to ruin my paper every time because I get stuck in a particular question and then I get emotional about it and end up wasting a lot of time invariably on one particular question and I ruin the test. So this is another learning. So it can be subject based thing, it can be a temperament based thing, it can be, you just simply getting exhausted by sitting there over 3 hours, isn't it? Different people, different learning. You take your part out of it, learn from it and try not to make the same mistake, try not to repeat the mistake. That is the utility. Now ask the question to yourself, what exactly is my expectation, what am I doing about it and how am I going to take mock test. Shubham says, any one test series that you would like to suggest? If I take one name, there will be injustice to others. So what I'll suggest is, and it's a very, it's something that I've said repeatedly time and again, every test series give you a few free tests, prelims ka bhi dete hain, mains ka bhi dete hain. Take that one free test from 4 or 5 major test series, you know the names, right? Decide for yourself what's working for you. The criteria should never be कौन सा आसान है वो लेना है because tough वाला demoralize करता है. No, many people have this logic. I'll take the easy one because the tough ones demoralize. No, a good test series should have a mix of tough tests, easy tests, middle level difficulty tests. Unfortunately, many of you have been giving us feedback कि ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. But I would still suggest that the difficulty level of the test series does not actually make too much of a difference because the difficult test goes to everyone. So don't look at absolute scores. It's very demoralizing when you get just 5 out of 60 in quant. Fine. But look at that percentile score. In a tough test, what can happen is that even after getting just a 5 out of 60, you might be at a 97 percentile. And now, when this has happened in the actual exam as well, when the test turned out to be really tough, you cannot complain about that. So decide for yourself, look at the interface, look at the quality of questions, look at the quality of their analysis and everything, and then decide for yourself. Test series doesn't cost too much in any case, isn't it? So you can buy a couple of them as well. You can buy 2-3 test series. So many students do that. And mix up the tests when do that. So I think that can be a good strategy that way. Vivek, just Google it. You will definitely find it on some website. In fact, multiple websites. The CAT papers, yeah. Sushma says, how to handle real-time pressure? Through mock tests. This is an answer. I told you about the utility of mock tests. So pressure comes, if you're talking about the exam pressure comes when you're experiencing something for the first time. Right? So second time you do that same thing, pressure reduces. You do it again, reduces further. Isn't it? It's true for everything. You appear for the first interview in front of your potential employer, you're nervous. You failed, you flunk it, fail ho gaye. You appear again, still nervous. Third time, fourth time, 10 baar fail ho gaye. 11th time, I don't know if you'll make it, not make it, but you will be a little less nervous. Experienced it. I'm conditioned. Aa jao. Hoga nahi hoga, I don't know, but I'm better prepared now. The same thing is, the same experience given to you by mock tests. If you take it seriously, find out a 3-hour slot, take it really seriously, dress yourself up, ऐसे bed पे बैठ के नहीं देना है, take a table, chair, a proper computer, laptop, whatever, and do it in all seriousness. Mobiles off, everybody told at home not to disturb and everything like that. And then, try and experience that pressure while taking that mock test. I need to perform in this mock test, otherwise I am out of the race for SBI PO. Think like that. Think like that. Condition yourself. आप ही का दिमाग है ना, condition कर सकते हो. You can obviously do that. Do it. You will experience that pressure. Go through this experience 4, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and you will realize I am a little better now at handling this pressure. देखो, handling the question is one thing. Handling pressure is an additional pressure. दोनों चीजें manage करनी है. So handling the question you will still have to do, but handling that pressure, that nervousness, that some excitement, some swears, everything would get better after this conditioning exercise. Do it. It'll help. I don't know the context. You are asking about practice. Where to practice? It's a test series, no? Where do you get? So yeah, people do ask this question. So let me address this as well. Especially in quant, when you talk about quantitative aptitude, you ask this question. So from where do I practice? So whatever course you're enrolled in, if you're enrolled with us, do the lectures first, then the sheets, and after that, one question comes, sir, do I do the CAT books for arithmetic? The answer is yes and no, both. It depends. So you've got a lot of time. You've done everything, done the sheets, done the lectures, you're feeling comfortable, confident about it. You want to solve arithmetic from CAT books. You can do it, it will not harm you. But there can be somebody who's got limited time, come time hai. So I'm struggling to complete the lectures and sheets. Then don't feel obliged to go through those CAT questions, not required. Why? Because the same things can be done through a test series modeled on SBI PO, IBPS PO pattern. वो ज़्यादा अच्छा है ना? So take a test series and do the questions from there. Now, in a test series, you would say, sir, there are limited topic questions, topic-based questions and all. So what you can do is take another test series, open this test series up and open the tests, and don't take it like a test, just do them like practice questions. कर सकते हैं ना? So for example, if you open a prelims test, you will find 35 quant questions, just solve them like practice questions. Do enough practice and then you can jump to the test series. So some tests can be opened. In fact, they have started giving you last year's test series as well. So for example, in 2022, I realized that the 21 questions were also there, question papers were there. So some of these tests can go to just for practice. Now, practice means not taking like a test, but as practice questions. Open the test up. I've got 35 good quality, relevant questions there in front of me. I will solve them. This is better than, if you cannot do both, mind it. If you cannot do both, this is better than solving the CAT books, because the questions would be, would be designed in a manner, would be framed in a manner which suits bank exams a little more. Concept to cover ho hi jayenge. It is the same sources. No, nobody can change time speed distance. So if I teach time speed distance for CAT, for CGL, for bank, I'll teach the same things, isn't it? Types of questions would change with the exam, but the concepts would remain the same. So in place of doing CAT books, if you've got time for both, wonderful, do it. If you've got limited time, focus instead on the kind of questions that have been appearing and that are expected to appear in the bank exams. What is the best source? The bank test series. Get a couple of them and then start doing it. Get going. Shreyans has taken up a different pattern. This is, I don't know, this is really irritating. I have experienced this as a student as well. Okay, this is different. I was not expecting this question. Shreyans is saying, sir, at times it happens that an invigilator starts talking, chit-chatting to a fellow invigilator while we are taking the exam. It can be really irritating, Shreyansh. I know that. I experienced that feeling and you feel like just, कैसा मन करता है, खून कर दो उसका, नहीं करता. बहुत politely उनको आप बोल सकते हो. And try doing this. It will work majority of the times. Unless the person has got really thick skin, it will work. देखो कुछ चीज़ें बोलते हैं ना, इसमें luck भी होता है. This is also that luck thing. All the invigilators not like that. But this is like just having a bad computer. I've seen good students faltering in the exam because of a bad computer. This is like having a bad human over there. But about a computer, what would you do? Complain about it and just hope that it works. It doesn't work in case of many students. But then you will say, ठीक है, दूसरा exam है वो निकल जाएगा. The same goes here. But what I can suggest still is, लड़ाई मत करना. Just tell them very politely, sir, we an exam थोड़ा disturb हो रहा है, sir. Can you please be a, just like that, in that tone. Don't say, चुप रहो यार, क्या कर रहे हो? नहीं यार, बुरा बुरा मान जाएगा, कुछ डिबार विबार कर देगा, प्रॉब्लम होगी. आई एम ऑल अगेंस्ट नॉट टॉलरेटिंग एनी इनजस्टिस, बट लुक एट द सिचुएशन एज वेल. झगड़ा करोगे वैसे भी दिमाग खराब होगा, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू बेटर इन द एग्जाम. बहुत ही पोलाइटली उसको रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हो कि मैम आपकी आवाज़ से डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है, आप बाहर जाके बात कर सकते हैं. नहीं जाएगा बाहर ना, इसलिए उसकी ड्यूटी है यहाँ पर, चुप हो जाएंगे. मोस्ट ऑफ देम वुड लिसन टू यू. हो सकता है कोई बहुत बेशर्म एक बार फिर से बोल दो, यार आपका काम है ना, निकलवाना है आपको, प्यार से ही बात करना, बट आई थिंक मान जाएंगे. बोल सकते हो, इसमें बोल सकते हो. दिस इज बेटर देन हैविंग अ बैड कंप्यूटर एट योर डिस्पोजल और बैड कीबोर्ड लाइक दैट. बोल दो यार, ये राइट है, इट्स योर राइट, बट बी वेरी वेरी पोलाइट. दैट्स माई ओनली रिकमेंडेशन देयर. रूड मत हो जाना, बुरा मान जाएगा यार, कोई क्या फ़ायदा. बहुत पोलाइटली बोल सकते हो कि मैम पेपर खराब हो जाएगा, डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है, प्लीज़ थोड़ी देर मत कीजिए आप ये, वाह, लाइक दैट. Devyani, that's wonderful. You watched syllogism, it worked for you for an exam. It's a lot of stuff that we have done in this channel. Just go through it. You'll like most of it. No, Shubham, it's not like that. Shubham is asking that same question that many of you would have in your mind. You are 25, 26. How do you continue your preparation? Pressure hota hai age ka. They allow you till 30. I think the eligibility is around 30 years for bank exams. So there are people who clear at 22. I've got so many students. यहाँ भी चैट में बैठे हुए दिख रहे हैं मेरे को, they cleared at 22. I have students who cleared at 29, 30. एकदम उस पे आके, edge पे आके. There are all kinds of students. So it's not about you falling behind in the race, they going ahead of you in the race. It's no race as such. The race is just on that day when you are trying to edge out each other for those 2000 seats. बस वही रेस है. बट लाइफ में ऐसा कोई रेस वेस नहीं चल रहा है. आई एम टेलिंग यू शुभम, the day you make it, so let's say you make it next year, for example, I don't know what is the status of your current exams, let's say you make it next year at the age of 26, you will forget all this nonsense. I'm telling you, it will not come in your mind. Tab ho jata, ab ho jata. All these are things that come into your mind when you are distracted. मैं तो already पीछे हूँ, my friend made it at 23, promotion होने वाला, is already a deputy manager, where am I in life, what am I doing with my life, my is all ruined, it's all bleak, कुछ नहीं future है. This is negativity. Just throw it out of mind. You are still in a much better position in this huge poor country. I'll put it this way. बहुत ही बड़ा देश है, बहुत ही गरीब देश है, आपको भी पता है. आप privileged हो. You are listening to me, sitting here through your computer, your mobile, whatever. Fine. You get this guidance. There are people who, despite trying their best in life, would struggle to make ends meet. आपकी वो position नहीं है. So you are so much better, yaar. When you feel so depressed, demoralized after looking at these things, look at a couple of people whom you know about. कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा बेचारा लाइफ में, कितनी भी मेहनत कर ले. No, look at all those people who come to your home for those household chores. आपका ड्राइवर, आपका प्रेस वाला, आपके घर में जो सर्वेंट्स होते हैं, वो सब, उनकी हालत देखो यार. आपको लगेगा नहीं यार, इतना कुछ नाराज़ होने का, शिकायत होने का लाइफ से नहीं है. आई एम स्टिल डूइंग गुड. ठीक है, आई डिड नॉट गेट सिलेक्टेड दिस ईयर, नेक्स्ट ईयर हो जाएगा. वॉट डिफरेंस वुड इट मेक? कोई ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. इट विल नॉट मेक अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस. यू आर नॉट कंपीटिंग विद योर फ्रेंड हु कन्वर्टेड द एग्जाम लास्ट ईयर. देयर विल बी पीपल, you make it next year. There will be people who will do it a couple of years after you. They are no lesser human beings. You're no lesser a human being than somebody who made it a couple of years back. Doesn't make much of a difference. The resources that you need to have a good, a fruitful life, a good life, a happy life, a cheerful life are all there still with you. You want to make your life better by clearing this exam. इतना ही है. कुछ मुसीबत नहीं आने वाली है अगर एक आध साल आगे पीछे हो जाएगा. Having said that, I'm not asking you to take it easy. Do your best, try your best, but if still, even after trying your best, the failure happens, can happen, let it happen. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. Failures make you a better person. You learn through your failures. Success is a lousy teacher. दिमाग में चढ़ जाती है. हम बढ़िया हैं. फेलियर से बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. बहुत सारी दिक्कतें हैं. आई नो फेलियर्स ऑब्वियसली डू कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, डिसअपॉइंटमेंट, बहुत सारा पेन देती हैं. बट you become a better human being by experiencing failures, by learning from your mistakes. Do that exercise. Don't think too much about you lagging behind. You're not lagging behind. You're not competing with anybody when it comes to this. सबके अलग अलग phases आते हैं. I've done so many videos on this channel when I talk about precisely about these kind of things. Go through them. You will understand. You are not competing with anybody. Everybody has a different time. जो लिखा होता है, जो आप बनाते हो अपने लिए, of being successful. Somebody does it at 20, somebody else does it at 35. It doesn't make a difference. हर चीज़ में compete करोगे, then you will feel this forever कि मैं तो पीछे हूँ किसी न किसी से पीछे तो हमेशा रहोगे. You do it at 23, there will be somebody else who does it at 22. You at 21, still there will be 100 others who have done it at 21. तो यार ऐसा तो नहीं चलेगा ना. Don't think too much about it. Don't think too much about it. Focus on what you want to achieve. What is it that you want to achieve? You want to clear this exam? Just leave aside all the thoughts about who does it when. I am eligible right now? Yes, I am eligible. Am I prepared to work hard for this? Yes, I think so. This is important for me. If I crack this exam this year, will it give me happiness? Yes, I think so. I think I can crack this exam. I think so. If I work hard, I'll crack this exam. Will I be happy? Will I be content? Will I get all the resources that I need to lead a good life? I think yes. And what are you worried about कि लास्ट ईयर नहीं हुआ, एक साल बाद हुआ? जो आपको चाहिए मिल जाएगा ना इस एग्जाम को क्लियर करके. किस चीज़ की टेंशन है यार, सोचो. रवि, अभी तो पूरा साल बचा हुआ है. इफ़ यू स्टार्ट योर प्रिपरेशन नाउ फॉर SBI PO 2023, यू हैव गॉट अ होल ईयर लेफ्ट विद यू. People do it in even 4-5 months as well. I'm not asking you to wait till the time it's like the exam is just 4-5 months away, but 1 year for this exam is sufficient. There are people who take 3 years. There are people who do it in 6 months. There are all kinds of people. It depends on a lot of stuff. And your background, your aptitude levels, your preparedness, your comfort level with maths and English, basic maths and English. So there are multiple things. But if you ask me, anybody who comes to me and asks, I want to clear SBI PO 2023. Do I stand a chance if I start right now? अगर मैं आज से स्टार्ट करूँ चांस बनता है कि नहीं बनता? 100% चांस बनता है. मतलब इससे ज़्यादा तैयारी के लिए वैसे नहीं है. Had it been like I am starting my preparation now, do I stand a chance for SBI PO 2022? पता नहीं prelims तो शायद निकल जाए तुक्के से. मुश्किल है. But SBI PO 2023 you're talking about and you are starting a preparation now. और कितना टाइम लोगे यार? ये पंचवर्षीय योजना नहीं होती है. एक साल is good enough. Yes, there are people who don't make it. बताया था जो मैंने just explained. Stroke of bad luck नहीं हुआ उस दिन, कुछ खराब हो गया, मेहनत नहीं की, कोई tragedy हो गई फैमिली में, got distracted. There's certain things that can happen. So much stuff that can happen with you, and it's fine. But otherwise, 1 year for bank exam preparation is definitely sufficient. Definitely sufficient. Swapnil, देखो, these kind of things do happen. Mocks are good. You still could not clear the exam, but this will not keep happening. You know, accident can happen once, twice, thrice. This did not work, I ruined this section, I ruined that section. But if you believe it's happening continually with you, you're not able to somehow manage this. नहीं हो पा रहा है बिल्कुल ही. There is something wrong somewhere. Take a couple of mock tests, analyze your performance. So what is it that you consider a good performance? A mistake that people make is by looking at the absolute scores. They will take a test series in which the tests are easy, will score a 55 out of 100 and say मैंने अच्छा किया. No, look at the percentile scores. Take a variety of mock tests. Even if you have taken a particular mock test series, look at the free tests of all other test series providers. वो तो कर सकते हो ना कम से कम. It takes nothing. कोई पैसा नहीं लगता. Look at your percentile scores. Maybe your test series got very few test takers, because of which the results are not accurate. कहीं तो कुछ problem है. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता that you're doing well continually in all the mock tests and then you're failing in all the prelims exams. No, I find it really hard to believe. I think we have launched this 2023 banking course yesterday. You can find the details on this channel and on our website meritshine.com. If you're somebody, there are people, as a question student, what to do different for mains exams, because I think I'm a step behind to crack it. Prelims you can crack, but mains, yes. The preparation is linked. So for example, if you talk about arithmetic, that's important for prelims as well as mains. But in prelims, the kind of questions is very different from the main exam. So if you are struggling in mains, whereas you are clearing prelims all the time, it happens with many students. It probably has got something to do with your problem solving skills. Mains, the questions are different, the level is different. But the good thing about mains is that you do not have to do a lot of questions. So in prelims, out of 100 questions, you will be expected to do 70, 80, 90, depending upon the difficulty level of the paper, isn't it? But when you talk about the main exam, what is it that is expected out of you? At times in quant section, they just expect you to attempt of 10, 15, 20 marks, isn't it? So what is it about? You are probably, if you're somebody who does relatively well in prelims, not as much in mains, you probably are lacking in problem solving skills. So when it's easy questions, simple questions, you do them, right? You're all right in them. But when it comes to slightly longish questions appearing in the form of sets, require some calculation, some use of logic, some thinking, then you falter. हो सकता है ऐसा? So probably you're one of those students. क्या करना है आपको? You have to condition yourself accordingly. Conditioning का मतलब क्या है? You solve, so for example, you believe that you cannot do much in DI and data analysis and data interpretation section, right? You're somebody like that. So what do? You do not wait for the actual exam to happen. You go through the lessons first and then solve 50, 70, 100 DI sets like that. ऐसे करो. उसके बाद में, is it possible that on the day of the actual exam you do not do or cannot do anything? No, it's really difficult. ऐसा नहीं होगा unless the paper is just out of this world. It will never be like that, isn't it? So condition yourself. Where do you struggle in the main exam? Just ask yourself, is it GK? Is it English, reasoning, maths, everywhere? Probably you have to work on everything then. Puzzles. If you're saying you clear prelims, so it means that you are okay with that puzzles, basic puzzles that prelims asks. But you're not doing well in reasoning in the main exam. It means what? The mains puzzles are a little lengthier. Solve 100 such puzzles, you will get better at it. So identify the problem. देखो किसी भी चीज़ का it's not restricted to just this this exam that I'm talking about. किसी भी चीज़ का लाइफ में solution के लिए पहले problem तो आइडेंटिफाई करो ना यार. डॉक्टर भी ऐसी दवा देता है ना. डॉक्टर prescribes medicines like that. So it's not just on symptoms. It is on your diagnosis. So what is the diagnosis? So when you're saying there's a difference, you get fever. So डॉक्टर के पास क्यों जाना है? खुद ही दवा ले लो, fever की दवा नहीं. It doesn't happen like that, no. They'll order a certain blood test, check करो, डेंगू वेंगू तो नहीं हो गया है. It happens like that, and then they'll try and treat it. So when you just take a crocin, you're treating the symptoms. So it is like that here. So you're telling me I do well in prelims, I don't do well in mains. So I tell you something in flat 2 lines, I'll be just trying to treat the symptoms. Take 5 more mock tests of mains next time you go to the exam, the actual exam. No. Take a step back and ask yourself, what exactly is my problem? Is it preparation? Is it test taking skills? Is it something else? Kya hai? Try and identify yourself. You are your own doctor because you will not get customized advice in this. कोई ऐसे डॉक्टर्स नहीं बैठे हुए ना जो आपसे बोलेंगे ये प्रिस्क्रिप्शन आपसे बात करके नहीं. So what do? Do it yourself. Ask yourself, why am I not doing well in mains? क्या हो जाता है मुझे? Can I understand the questions? No. Probably I don't have that skills. You go back to the basics, then do it, solve some problems. I know the questions, but I cannot handle that pressure. I get scared of it when I look at those lengthy puzzles and DI sets. You need some more conditioning, some more mock tests before it. So devise a solution for yourself, a plan for yourself on the basis of what exactly is required. Who is the best person to help you with that? कौन आपको बेहतर बता सकता है, best बता सकता है ये बताओ. It is you. You know what the problem is, but for that you will have to sit at it for some time, एकदम peacefully, without किसी agitation, irritation के, बहुत आराम से शांति से बैठ के सोचो क्या है जो मेरे को प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है इसके अंदर. What is it? आपको बहुत बार आंसर मिल जाएगा. Look, when it comes to medical science, I will not advise you to do this experiment with yourself. ज़्यादातर नहीं. But when it comes to this kind of a thing, you're your best doctor. You know, or you would know after spending a couple of days in this mode कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. Start working on it and the results would show. Don't expect a dramatic improvement. It will never happen. But you will realize in a mock test in which I used to get a 70, 75, I'm touching an 85 now. Why? Because I analyzed a few things and I worked on them consciously. I'm doing a little better. Keep doing this. Try and optimize. Optimize का मतलब धीरे धीरे करके बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस की तरफ अपने बढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दो. And things would work. So at times the problem can be test taking skills, at times it can be concepts. Identify what is it, work towards it, and be patient enough to see you growing progressively like that, one step at a time. Don't just think I'm here right now, I'll make a jump like that. बंदर थोड़ा ना, ठीक है ना, धीरे धीरे करके just take one step at a time and you will reach that position, that place where you want to reach. Be a little patient, analyze your performance, work out a plan for yourself and follow it very, you know, in a very disciplined manner, very meticulously, एकदम diligently उसको follow करो and results दिखेंगे ही दिखेंगे. करो काम इस पे. Yes, Ravi, बिल्कुल possible है. Next year का SBI PO, if you are asking about, it's definitely possible. पूरा साल बचा हुआ है, 8-10 महीने तो हैं ही है कम से कम. It looks good, Santosh. 120 looks like a good score. It should get you, you know. I would not want you to miss SBI PO mains. See if you can do something about it. But yes, 120 does look like a good score. Cutoffs can vary. We do not know. Accuracy can change because they do not give us the paper and all. But yes, I would not want you to miss this exam. If you can somehow manage it, see to it that you know you do it. You take your chances because an interview is still to happen, right? तो आप chance नहीं लेना चाहोगे, but it looks like a good score. How to increase attempts in exam? Sanjeev, I have been talking about it. Work in a skill set first. And if you believe that you're too slow, what would you do? Say you get 5 questions of quadratic which others do in 1.5 minutes. You take 5 minutes. What does that mean? You need to first learn the basics of quadratic equations and then solve 100, 200, 500 questions of it. You will get faster. This is one way or one reason why you might be slow. Another reason is that you do not know what questions to pick in the exam. Work on your test taking skills. It's one of the two things. Either you're lacking in concepts or you're lacking in test taking skills. Try and identify what exactly is it that's hampering your performance and work on that part. You will see yourself improving gradually. Good, Shubham, it worked for you. I'll be really happy if you can make use of the advice and do well. Yeah, Fazal, so many people do it in the first attempt. देखो बहुत वेरी करता है. People do it in the first attempt. People take 3-4 attempts as well. So it depends on a lot of things. You got this background. You're comfortable with basic maths and English. First attempt is what you should target. Ekdam. Yeah. Sanjeev, just think about yourself. You need one seat. Fine. If you look at all the exams, there'll be like 10,000 vacancies. You need just one. I understand it's huge competition, but if you are being true to yourself, honest to yourself, if you work hard, there is every reason for you to believe that probably you have that one seat for yourself among those 10,000 vacancies. कहीं एक सीट निकल सकती ना आपके लिए. So don't start on this, don't start your preparation, or if you're in the middle of your preparation on the back foot. ये सोच के कि it's so competitive, where would I get it, कैसे मिलेगा. आप सोचो ना, if everybody starts thinking like that and leaves this, you can call this competition or race or whatever, who would then get into those 10,000 vacancies? I'm just taking a hypothetical number, like an approximate number. Let's say there are 10,000 vacancies in all in bank exams in a year. If everybody starts thinking like that, सब vacant रह जाएगा, vacancy vacant रह जाएंगी नहीं. But it doesn't, because there are enough people who believe that if they work hard, they stand a solid chance of making it. Nobody can say with guarantee that I'll make it this year, but you have to make yourself believe that I will make it this year. गारंटी किसी की नहीं ले सकता. आप मेरे को बोलो इस पर सट्टा लगा दे, इसका एग्जाम का निकल जाएगा, नहीं लगाऊंगा यार. यू कैन हैव अ बैड डे, हो सकता है ना. बट टेल योर सेल्फ दैट इफ आई प्रिपेयर वेल, वर्क हार्ड, डू माई बेस्ट, I stand a good chance, a solid chance of making it. And this is all what you need. Don't look at others, what he is doing, that is doing, वो क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है, उसे छोड़ दिया, इसका हो गया. नहीं, नहीं. If you have to look at people, just go to the Merit Shine Student Gallery playlist on this channel and look at the stories. We generally talk to those people who have had some kind of an issue, and I'll be honest here, when everybody I talk to has had some kind of an issue. It's rarely a very smooth journey. सबके साथ ही कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. आपको रियलाइज होगा वो इसका प्रॉब्लम तो मेरे से भी बड़ा था. देखो यार, उनको सुनो. इट्स नॉट जस्ट प्रिपरेशन थिंग बट देयर लाइफ थिंग एज वेल. सो मेनी वीडियोज ऑफ सच पीपल ऑन दिस चैनल वेयर आई टॉक टू देम. कुछ मोनोलॉग्स हैं, जस्ट लिसन टू देम एंड रियलाइज कि हाँ मेरे जैसा ही था, बट इज नाउ ए डेप्यूटी मैनेजर इन SBI. कैसे हुआ? बिलीव्ड इन हिमसेल्फ और हरसेल्फ, वर्कड रियली हार्ड एंड केप्ट ट्राइंग, एंड इट हैपेंड. थिंक लाइक दैट. Karthik, I just explained that skill set development by doing that thing. Say you don't understand simplification questions well. You take a lot of time in solving them. So skill set development means you first go through the tutorials of simplification, understand the basics. Fine. Once you understand them, the solved questions and everything, you solve 200 questions of simplification and your skill set would improve. So today, if you take 5 minutes in doing 5 simplification questions, after this 1 week, after the skill development, you can probably do them in 2 minutes after a week. This is skill development. I give you a small example by taking or talking about simplification. This applies to all parts, everything, all parts of the syllabus. This is skill development. Batch time of the one that we are going to start will start on 16th of January, guys, and it'll be 9 p.m. Santosh, it's good to guide all of you, and it's good to see you succeed. Just make sure that you cross the line this time. That's really important. Aman, there is some problem with your mocks. I don't know what is it. If you're taking your mocks in that real thing, if you're producing that exam like environment in the mock tests, you doing well in mock tests means what? I don't know what is it that you're calling doing well. If it's just getting a 50, 55, 60, no. If you are, this session is not specifically about mock tests, but I would still tell you a criteria. If you are consistently getting a 90 percentile in a mock tests, it'll be very difficult for you to fail in all the exams. I don't make blanket statements like this, but yes, since you wanted me to tell you क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, what is it that you're getting? If you are getting 80, 85, you're at a 50-50 kind of thing, right? But if you are crossing a 90 percentile, I'm not talking about absolute scores, I'm talking about percentile scores. If you are crossing 90 percentile consistently in your mock tests, it'll be difficult for you to miss the actual exam. हो जाना चाहिए. अब आप देखो क्या आ रहा है आपका. And experience a variety of test series. Don't just stick to one. At least free test सबके लेकर देखो. Look at your scores. If you are not getting that score, analyze the tests and try and improve the scores. Once you reach that number, the actual exam would be just another mock test for you. Think of it like that. Your answer is mock tests. You get, say you are prepared, well prepared, and on the day of the exam you feel nervous. So some nervousness is fine. It is okay. Everybody experiences, every serious candidate experiences. But if you believe that you just cannot handle that pressure, the answer is mock tests. So when you take mock tests, so for example, let's assume for a moment that you are due to appear for SBI PO mains. Now many people would make this, I'll call it a mistake, that they do not appear in any mock test. And don't tell me that, sir, I've seen people who have cleared it without taking mock tests. Yes, I've seen people clearing it without any preparation as well. So that happens. But when we are discussing, we'll talk about the normal course of action. So you're expected to take mock tests. Why? Because they help you in conditioning yourself to prepare for the exam for those 3 hours. Right? So what you need to do is that after your revision is over, after preparation is over, you've done the bulk of the sessions, take a few tests in real exam-like conditions, experiencing the same kind of pressure. That is called conditioning yourself. Just tell yourself, so for example, you sit tomorrow at 10 a.m. for that 3-hour slot. Take any mock tests, a full-length SBI PO mains mock test. Tell yourself that your life depends on this test. If you don't make it, you will be out of the race for SBI PO. You will have to wait till next year for SBI PO. Tell yourself this thing consciously. एकदम बैठ के बताओ अपने आप को इतना exam important है. If you can generate that level of sincerity, seriousness for that particular test, I'm telling you, you will experience the same kind of pressure that you are expected to experience at the time of the actual exam. Many of us do not take mock tests that seriously. ये तो मॉक है, इसका क्या है, घंटी बजी छोड़ दिया बीच में, मोबाइल बजा छोड़ दिया बीच में, कैसे आएगी सीरियसनेस? नहीं आएगी ना. एक्सपीरियंस करके देखो. इट शुड वर्क, इट वर्क्स फॉर मेनी पीपल. नाउ वुड से सर प्रॉब्लम वहीं आ गई, आई यूज्ड टू एक्सपीरियंस इन द एक्चुअल एग्जाम, अब मॉक में होने लग गया. नो, इट विल नॉट हैपन अगेन एंड अगेन. सो वंस यू एक्सपीरियंस इट, यू फील दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रेशर, हाथ कांप रहे हैं, लिखा नहीं जा रहा, डर लग रहा है, जो आता है वो भी नहीं हो रहा. नो, एक्सपीरियंस ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, इट विल नॉट हैपन अगेन. So when you experience this first one, you have your learning. Next time when you sit for it with the same seriousness, you will tell yourself, whatever happens, I will not let this happen to me. Even if I score less, it's fine, but I will do whatever I know in the test. You take the third one, you take the fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, you keep taking it, and you will realize that you are gradually getting better at handling the pressure of working under the time constraint. You get the point? वो जो limited समय में करने होते हैं ना, वो pressure की आपको आदत पड़ती जा रही है. So when the actual exam happens, you are under no such kind of pressure, or some pressure is there, that's fine, but not under that immense pressure under which you crumble and do not do anything, even the stuff that you would have done easily otherwise. Get the point? जो आप आसानी से कर लेते बाहर, वो भी जो नहीं कर पा रहे हो, वो नहीं होगा. That is the answer to your question. Ashutosh, no, it'll be Ratnabha sir and me who will be teaching in this batch, and miscellaneous reasoning topics, coding, decoding, etc. are taken by Ratnabha sir. I do puzzles. Yeah. No, you can enroll now as well. No. So we asked you to do the YouTube lectures first because we did not have a batch at the time. Now we expected, we are going to start a batch next month. You can enroll in it immediately. When there is an early bird offer going on, you can do that. And at the same time, you keep completing those playlists. So you'll realize that when we start the batch next month, we start by asking you to do a few YouTube playlists from this channel. The reason is that when we teach in that batch, we don't repeat the stuff that we have done here. So there are some things that we have done very beautifully here, completed everything here. So what do? We repeat that same stuff? No, we don't. What we do is that we ask you to complete that stuff first, and then we do additional sessions on that same topic to take your learning higher. What is the use of repeating those same sessions? So you'll hardly find anything that's common in our paid programs and our YouTube stuff. No. The concepts I cannot change. So the concepts of time for distance, can I change? No, I cannot. But the questions would be different, everything would be like quite different. So if you do everything from this channel, this will hold you in good stead when you start in that batch next month, right? So you can enroll immediately. It will not harm you, and continue with your preparation. Many people feel that if they have enrolled in the paid program, they not do the YouTube sessions. ये तो promotion के लिए होता है. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है यार. We have done really good stuff here, serious stuff here. Many people have taken advantage of that. Please do that sincerely, even if you are enrolled or are planning to enroll in the paid program. You will not find, similarities would be there because the concepts are same, but you will not find anything that's the same. Questions and everything would be different. So you do everything from this channel. अगर आपके पास टाइम है, सब कुछ करो, कोई परेशानी नहीं है, करिए. Because I just answered the question through mock tests. It's a conditioning issue. You are not able to convert your knowledge into marks. You're good, but you're not able to convert your knowledge into marks. Work on that. How do you work on that? By experiencing multiple mock tests. You will keep getting better, but follow the way that I just explained. Take it very, very seriously. Analyze it well. Work on the second one, and it's a process. You'll gradually improve. Where to get the course? You will find it on our website meritshine.com. or else we'll share the link here as well. There is a video that we released yesterday announcing the course. You'll find the links everywhere. You'll find it easily if you try to finding it. Yeah. Atmaram, just give me a moment here. I'll just look at your question. What is your question? So we have done so I'll answer this. Yeah, we have done a lot of free stuff on this channel. So if you're somebody who really cannot afford the course fees, just use it from here. You'll find a lot of free stuff from here. But if sparing the course fee is not a problem for you, I would strongly recommend enrolling in the program, because the content obviously a lot better over there. But yes, if you are somebody who seriously has financial issues हैं, इतने issues हैं कि आप बिल्कुल मैनेज नहीं कर सकते, तो यहाँ पर बहुत कुछ रखा हुआ है. और इसी वजह से वी हैव जस्ट पुट इट हियर कि अगर कोई ऐसा बच्चा है जिसको परेशानी है, तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई गाइडेंस नहीं है. You'll find subject wise playlists on this channel. Go through them first. In fact, we ask all of our paid program students as well to go through those playlists. What happens in the paid program is additional stuff that goes above what you find here, right? So कर सकते हैं आप लोग यहाँ से. Santanu, I will advise you to wait for the result of IBPS PO. Don't make an assumption that you'll not make it. Vacancies अच्छा खासा है, then you'll shortlist more people. No, if you don't make it, focus on SBI PO. If you don't make it as well, God forbid ऐसा ना हो तो अच्छा है, then look at 2023 exams, right? When will the syllabus be completed? I mean duration? Manish, it depends. So we target SBI PO and IBPS PO, right? So we try and finish the syllabus much in advance of the exam. So it's very easy for you to just complete the syllabus in 2 months. It doesn't work. So we pace the course according to the expected date of the exams. But don't worry about the syllabus and all, they'll be completed. What you'll need to worry about is how to cope with the stuff that we give you, how to complete the classes, understand everything, do the sheets, and then start taking mock tests and everything and start doing well in that. Don't worry about syllabus and all, that will never be a problem. We'll take care of that. So that is not something for you to worry. That's our headache. Ashutosh, no. This is not expected of you. So Ashutosh is saying so many exams lined up, like LIC, SIDB, some of us can do. That's a cycle. Government exams is a cycle like that. If you look at all these exams, regulatory body exams, PSU exams, government exams, it's a cycle. In fact, मैं आपको इसका key बताता हूँ कैसे करना चाहिए. So, for example, I'm starting today my journey for government exam preparation, bank exam preparation, SCCGL, banks, regulatory body exams, RBI, NABARD, everything. So I don't stop at any point till the time I reach my goal. Fine. So that way it's very different from so many other exams. This preparation, government and PSU exam preparation, this is different because you take one exam say next month. You cannot afford to. You can actually afford a breather, but you cannot afford to take a break. I've taken mains, I'll now take a break. Time नहीं है यार, because मुझे नहीं पता result क्या होने वाला है, no. So take a breather for a day, a couple of days, relax, rejuvenate yourself, indulge in the activity, some activity that you like doing, play, watch sports, do whatever, watch movie, watch a web series, then start again. You do not wait for the results. The preparation should go in this manner. You do the basics, which is like more or less common for many of these exams. You tweak your preparation according to a specific exam that's about to happen. Take the exam, take a breather, एक आध दिन का चैन ले लो, and then you start again without thinking about the result. We take an exam, it goes well. What many of us do is that then we start waiting for the result. इसमें तो ज़रूर होगा, नहीं हुआ, मान लो नहीं हुआ किसी वजह से, and then you have to start all over again. वो नहीं होना है, बंद करना ही नहीं है ना. You do not stop your preparation after taking an exam. I am prepared. And I've got these 10 exams to take in the year. Socho, 2 in January, 1 in February, 2 in March, nothing in April, 2 in May. It goes on like that. Just an example. Exam आया, दिया, फिर से काम पे लग गए. I take this exam, for example, SBI PO. I'm sure I'll crack it this year. Good, very good. Do it. You clear prelims. Mains happens, you clear mains. Then you look at the next exam, whatever that exam is. You look at that, you look at SBI PO interview. Interview, exam happens, you do it, you again get on with the job. Do it, again get on. You don't take pauses or long breaks like that. No, start, stop. No. It's a journey. I'm on a journey. The journey ends when I get my desired, that coveted position where I expected to reach. कुछ भी हो सकता है, जो भी आपका टारगेट है, उसी दिन रुकेगी जर्नी. बीच में ये स्टॉप्स हैं, छोटे. I stop here, take the exam, settle myself, again get on with the journey. then again a small stop, take the exam, then I start again वहीं पर ही. But वो break नहीं हो सकता, तो ये feeling नहीं आएगी आपको. आप पता है, don't be wrong, many of you think कब तक चलेगा, कैसे चलेगा. एक्चुअली इस जर्नी का ना पहले से पता नहीं है हमें. किसी का स्ट्रगल 6 महीने, 8 महीने, 1 साल का होता है, किसी का 2-3 साल का भी हो जाता है. इट डिपेंड्स, वेरीज, मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स, मल्टीपल रीजंस, एवरीबडी इज डिफरेंट, circumstances are different, preparedness is different, aptitude is different, right? So yes, prepare yourself accordingly. I will stop only when I succeed. सबसे अच्छा तरीका है ना सोचने का, I will stop only when I succeed. तो आप जो बोल रहे हो ना बार बार जैसा कुछ है ही नहीं. बार बार तो तब आएगा ना, जैसे आई आस्क यू क्लियर SBI PO, यू बिकम एन SBI PO. मैं आपसे फिर से बोलूँ अगली बार करो SBI PO, डू इट अगेन, क्लियर इट. नहीं, ये क्या मजाक है. नो, नॉट आस्किंग टू डू दैट. आपने ऐसा क्या किया है जो आप बैठ जाओ, बताओ. Ask yourself this question. I should not be the one asking you this question. You ask yourself this question. What have you done till now for which you're saying अब मेरे को दोबारा करना पड़ेगा. दोबारा कहाँ कर रहे हो यार, पहली बार खत्म किया ही नहीं है अभी, तभी तो कर रहे हो. एक बार खत्म कर लो, काम खत्म हो जाएगा. And no, never ask you to do it again. Of course, there can be bigger things. You aspire for RBI grade B, wonderful. Take a break of a month, enjoy a new job, and then start again. But in this journey in which you started probably to clear an SSCGL or a bank PO, you do not stop till you get what you wanted to get, right? Nikhil, we start on 16th of next month. The batch is already available. You can enroll. The aspirant, I just explained this. Ask yourself, I think I did it in the beginning. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Did I have the right resources, the best resources? Did I make good use of the resources? Did I do my best in the exam? You can have a bad day in the exam. If the answer is yes, and you cannot do anything more than this, and you have been taking the exam for the last 4 years, probably it's time to look at an alternate career. Think about an alternate career first before leaving it, and then if you think you have an option, leave it. But if the answer is no to any of these questions, you do not have the resources, you do not work your best, या एग्जाम में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई इस बार, you've got every reason to try again. I'll put it like this. Karthik, by solving problems, how do you gain any, how do you acquire any skill? So, say driving skills. For example, you ask me, sir, how do I get driving skills? What would I say? By trying to drive. How do you get problem solving skills? By trying to solve problems. They will look very problematic in the beginning. You solve a few of them, you will get a little better. You solve more of them, you will get thoda sa aur better. You solve many of them, you will get better. The point will you say, I'm good at solving problems. There comes a point where you say, kuch bhi le aao, I will solve everything. It's a process. Get into the process without looking for a magic formula to solve problems, and you will get better gradually. That's a simple answer. Pooja, some anxiety is all right. It's not a negative thing to carry into the exam. That's fine. That's okay. As long as you can control that anxiety and nervousness, and change it into that nervous energy that actually makes you do well in the exam, that's fine. I do sessions before the big exams. You can go through a few of those. They'll probably help you with tackling that those anxiety issues. Ashutosh, देखो मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी यार. I mean, there is no alternative to that. So if you are one of those somebodies who started their preparation some time back and you are still not done with your basics and all, you are not putting your best into it. I don't know what's the reason. The reason probably is that you do have a fallback option. आपके पास कुछ घर में business वगैरह है, आप उसमें चले जाओगे. If that is an option, I don't know what to say. But if you don't have an option, and this is the only way that you can change your life, reshape your life, make your life better, what reason can you possibly have not to give your best to it? सोच के देखो यार, थोड़ा सा sacrifice आज will pay you for the rest of your life, isn't it? So what do you want? A good 3, 4, 6 month period in which you're having fun, enjoying with your friends, or a good 35 years after this? You will get your answer. Follow your heart, whatever it says. So Manuel is asking that how to attempt English if one is average at the subject. So at times in English, and you understand, many of you would be able to relate to this issue. What happens in that in English, you will find this problem that you can eliminate 2-3 options and you're stuck between 2-3 options, isn't it? That's what you're saying. So when you have a doubt between 2-3 options, so he's saying, should I go ahead and mark it or should I leave that question? Manuel, you will get your answer by looking at your test series scores. So when you take a test in English, it can happen that you believe that you can rule out those 2-3 options and the answer is among the rest 2-3 options. हो सकता है ऐसा? So you take a chance and you mark the answers. If you believe that you get at least half of these questions correct in which you have a doubt, you can continue the practice. ठीक है, ऐसा होगा ना? That इस टेस्ट में हमने 5 ऐसे questions mark किए, you got 3 correct. Go ahead, do this because your net score is positive. But if you believe that whenever you mark any of these questions in which you are in doubt and most of them are incorrect, सबका अलग अलग होगा, मेरे ज़्यादातर ठीक होते हैं. Just to tell you that everybody would be different in this. बट किसी और कैसे भी हो सकते हैं, गलत होते हैं. आपको लग रहा है आपने 2-3 एलिमिनेट करे बट प्रॉबेबली योर एलिमिनेशन वाज नॉट राइट. सो इन दैट केस यू वुड बी बेटर ऑफ नॉट अटेम्प्टिंग दोज क्वेश्चंस. Fine. So there is no strict formula for whether these are to be attempted or not attempted. It depends on how good are you at eliminating the options in those questions in which you are not 100% sure. There will be some questions in which you know for sure that this is the answer, E is the answer, D is the answer. These are fine, you have to do it. But in some of the questions, you would feel A, B, C are not the answers. Answer is one among D or E. Now you can be good at this elimination, or other case can be that you're not good at it. You believe that D or E are the possible answer options, but the answer turns out to be A or even C. No. But how would you know in which category you belong? The first one, the second one? By looking at these kind of attempts from your past. So look at the last 3, 4, 5 tests and figure out whether the options in which you had a doubt were the correct ones or you went wrong. What is the net result of the marking of those questions in which you had a doubt? You will get your answer. There is no strict rule regarding that. Vinay, I will think about it. About SBI PO mains, I'll think, yeah. Okay, about general awareness, yeah. देखो यार, at this stage, so if you're talking about 2023 and 2022, these are two different things. So if you're talking about 2022 SBI PO mains general awareness, I would say pick up any PDF that you believe you like. Everybody has different likes and dislikes. So pick up any PDF that you believe you're comfortable reading with and go in the reverse order. So do November 1st, then October, do some December as well, then September. Go in the reverse order and do as much as you can do with a reasonable level of depth. Don't get too deep into it, but superficially देख लो, कम से कम 6 महीने का देख लो. Do it at least for 6 months. If you can go beyond 6 months, good. Because this is very unpredictable these days. At times they just stick to 3-4 months. At times they've given you questions from duration or the time period before that as well. So cannot really be sure about general awareness. It is what it is, general awareness. The name suggests it's general awareness. So there's no strict syllabus like that. But for 2022, I would suggest doing it through PDFs at this stage. For 2023 aspirants, if we're talking about general awareness, the only piece of advice at this stage would be to read newspapers and magazines and all those things, watch news channels regularly and keep in touch with the news, stay abreast of the news, and with special focus on banking and financial sector related news. आपका sector है ना, इसमें जाने वाले हो, so just keep an eye on all these kind of news, keep tabs on it, banking and financial sector, insurance and everything, and in general, make yourself more aware, make yourself more conscious. The word will help you even in the interview. 2023 के लिए, for general awareness at this stage, you do not have to do anything else. Regular reading of newspapers and all, that's going to help you even in your English and writing skills and reading skills and everything. And the news channels and you know, reading all the relevant stuff as far as your industry is concerned. This is what I'll suggest for 2023. For 2022, at this stage, nothing else. Pick some PDFs and just, you know, try and do as much as possible, but not at the cost of English, quant and reasoning. So make a schedule, do it like, if you've got say 8 hours daily for SBI PO mains preparation, just an example, give 2-3 hours to general awareness at this stage. And as the exam approaches, increase the percentage of time given to general awareness. So say 4-5 days before the exam, I would be doing general awareness for 70% of the time. Why? Because I'm not going to work on any new thing at this stage. Mock tests, probably some revision, quick ones, and general awareness like that. 5-6 hours in a day should be good, Vinay, when people manage it with 5-6 hours. And just remember this, that you'll need to slog on the weekends. Weekends are really important. Somebody who's working 5-6 hours plus you have the weekends, that should be good. Fatima, if your speed is not that great, you probably, even before taking mock tests, need to go back to the basics first and practice solving questions. So for example, you believe you can just attempt 20 marks in reasoning. Just an example. So it means that probably the speed at which you are solving the puzzles is not good enough. So what do? Leave mock tests for now. Go back to your the basics thing and solve 100 puzzles first. I'm talking puzzles because I'm giving an example of prelims reasoning. Likewise, wherever you believe your speed is not good, what do? Leave that test, go back to practicing some of those questions first and then come back to it. Your speed will improve. If your speed is less, what would you do? Practice more. Fine. Practice relevant stuff a little more, speed will go up. Still not happy with it, practice some more. If you believe you cannot do simplification questions which is expected to be done in 2 minutes, like 5 questions, you take more time, what do? Solve 200, 300, 500 simplification questions, you will get better. That is the way. This is something different because I've talked about the mains exam in detail. Please just rewind this video after this is over, you will find your answers. So this is a good question. Sachin says he's working right now, wants to leave the job, but I'm confused whether this is the right decision or not. 6 to 8 months left for SBI PO 2023. Thing number one, I don't know if it's 6 to 8 months left for 2023 SBI PO. This cycle is not yet over. It might be 10, 12 months as well. I don't know. But yes, at least 6 to 8 months. Let's just think of it as 6 to 8 months. My answer is, again, depends on you, but do not just leave the job for the sake of it, for the heck of it. When you don't just think that, let me just do it this way. Make a plan for your SBI PO 2023 preparation. Fine. सारे resources देख के, तरीका देख के, कैसे पढ़ना है. Just make a plan for yourself. Try and stick to it along with the job. Try to manage your preparation along with the job first. If you believe you are actually falling short on time नहीं मिल रहा है, समय नहीं मिल रहा है, कर नहीं पा रहे हो, you can think about leaving the job. But if you believe that it's, it seems to be okay, it's fine, I have to just push myself a little, but I can manage, then don't leave your job. It'll be easy for me to say, job chhod do, it'll get easier. Yeah, it'll definitely get easier, but there are way too many students that I've seen who left their job for this, and then they realized that they did not make too much of a difference to their preparation. Why? Because they were earlier studying for 4 or 5 hours, now probably an hour more, because they are doing a lot of stuff after leaving their job that they could not do otherwise. कुछ भी हो सकता है वो, but it did not contribute much to their studies or their moving towards realizing their dream, their goal. No. So if you are 100% sure that after leaving this job you can give it 6 to 8 hours more at least daily, then you can think about leaving the job. But if you're planning to leave the job just because the things would get a little easier and you really do not need this extra money that you're making through this job, don't do it यार. ऐसा मत करो, अभी मत करो, जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तब करना. मैं ये नहीं चाहूँगा अभी आप 4-5 घंटे पढ़ रहे हैं, जॉब छोड़ने के बाद भी आप वो 5-6 घंटे पढ़ रहे हैं. नहीं. When you know that if after leaving a job it's going to make a hell lot of improvement to your preparation, to your chances, leave a job at that point. Not now, not at this stage. No. It's very difficult to comment on the number of vacancies and everything, but yeah, if you look at this, all this space of government BCS exams and everything, things are going good. It's not bad, at least the number of vacancies and everything. So we don't have a reason to believe that 2023 would be bad. 2024 is the election year, so 2023 has got to be good. So keep your fingers crossed. How to keep ourselves motivated for the next 4 or 5 months? Ritesh, just remind yourself of the task and what is at stake. There is no way that you will get demotivated, you cannot push yourself to work for it. याद दिलाओ क्या होगा, लाइफ कैसे बदलेगी, and it will be a huge motivator, more than anybody else, any person or anything, anybody else, a virtual person, a real person in life. No. ऐसा सोचो, if I clear SBI PO or IBPS PO next year, after 6, 8 months, 10 months, what would I be doing? Compare it to your present situation where I don't know if you're jobless or you're working somewhere, and compare the two scenarios in your mind, where you're right now and where you can be after 8 months, 10 months, I don't know, around that time. If this can motivate you enough, जहाँ पर आप पहुँच सकते हो, you do not need any other source of motivation. This should be enough, but remind yourself this thing daily. While just going through the motions, you forget the bigger task. क्या aspiration है हमारा? And that's where we kind of get disillusioned and lose focus. Remind yourself daily your objective, your goal, your dream. लिख लो, दीवार पे लगा लो, चिपका लो. And it should not let you get distracted. Should be enough, I believe. By taking enough mock tests, Swaroop, your syllabus is over, you want to improve your speed, practice questions first and then get into the mock test series mode. Should do better. Sahil, just keep doing whatever you're doing for SIDBI grade A exam, and take a few tests before the exam, revise everything and do the best, do whatever you can do for it. No, man, it's a very broad question. When in terms of advice, I don't really know what to say to you. Don't do anything different from what you're doing. Just try and optimize whatever you're doing. Focus on this. Don't get distracted. Don't think too much about what will happen if I don't make it and all those things, and just should be good. Swaroop, it's not something new or something very specific to you. There are a lot of people whose concepts are clear, but they are not able to score in the exam. Concept clarity is thing number one. Converting your knowledge into marks is thing number two. If you cannot do the second, cannot convert your knowledge into marks, it probably has got to do with your test taking ability. Take a mock test series, take a few tests, analyze the tests and try and figure out what exactly is going wrong. You will find your answer. Work on it and you will get better. Don't try and find this answer in the real exam, in the actual exam. Try and find this answer through mock tests and you will get your answer. It's a process of improvement. So when you look at the first couple of mock tests, you will realize, oh, this is a mistake that I'm making. Work on it, try and improve. It will not happen overnight. थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा. Patience रखो, करते रहो उस चीज़ को. Gradually the scores would go up. And this is the utility of mock tests. Taking mock tests religiously. Don't just take them. Take a test, analyze it, look at it. What could I have done better? क्या बेहतर कर सकता था? अगली बार execute करने की कोशिश करो. Do it next time. Take another one. Take another one. And there will be a point at which you will believe, now I am able to get that score that is, that is in sync with my knowledge in the subject. जितना मेरा आना चाहिए उतना आ रहा है. It's not that you'll start getting a 35 or 35. No. Everybody is at a different level. But there will be a score at which you will feel, इतना ही आता था. But this is a good score at my current ability. Get to that score and this is where mock tests are going to help you. Tanmay and Aditya have asked similar kind of questions. Last attempt, age बढ़ रहा है, exam clear नहीं हो रहे हैं. देखो guys, I've already addressed this in the session. I would request you to listen to that detailed answer by rewinding the video later. But crux वही है. If you believe you have tried your best already, and don't take this decision in the next 2 minutes. No, it will take some time. Give it a couple of days. If you believe that you have already tried your best, सब कुछ try कर लिया है, and you cannot do better than this, कर ही नहीं सकते इसके ऊपर. Look at an alternate career option. You will find something for yourself. The word does not end with these bank exams. No, not at all. But if you think that something was lacking, you did not have the resources, you did not work hard enough, something went wrong in exams, तबीयत खराब हो गई, घर में कुछ problem था, and you think you can do better, then there is always a reason for you to give it another try. एक बार try कर सकते हो. आपको लगता है कुछ change हो ही नहीं सकता, that you cannot improve anything on this, and you lost all hope. When lost all hope is very simple. I fail in the exam, I lose all hope. No. Think of it objectively. Is there nothing that I can add to what I did previously at the time when I failed? कुछ ऐसा है जो मैं improve कर सकता हूँ? Could I have improved something on this? Could I have done something better last year? If you cannot find any answers, कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है, there is nothing left, then you should think of an alternate career option. What can be alternate career option? There are hundreds of options. When look at the people around you. Say there are 20 houses in your neighborhood. Look at what people do. This is where you get your answers. कर रहे हैं ना सब कुछ. कितने लोग बैंक में उनमें से? एक दो? Probably एक भी नहीं. So there are things that people do. Figure out what you would want to do for yourself. आप मेरे से पूछोगे क्या करना है, मैं बोलूँगा क्रिकेटर बन जाओ यार. They make 500 crores a year. नहीं ना, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा ना. How can I answer this for you? You will have to find an answer yourself. But believe me, जो भी आपने सीखा है, पढ़ा है during the course of this preparation is going to hold you in good stead. You developed aptitude, you developed language. This is valued everywhere. कहीं पर भी, even in a private job. It's so much valued that way. So don't get frustrated and demoralized at this. If you think You can attempt it one more time with all your heart and soul. Do it. Sumit, I would definitely advise you to do current affairs, but not at the cost of doing quant and reasoning and everything. No, don't do that. That'll be a mistake. Just because you believe quant was difficult this time, you leave quant. Even in difficult quant paper, people who were better in quant would get a few more marks than those who were not good in quant. Like that few marks would be the difference. There'll be a mistake. Do current affairs and everything. Don't ignore quant, reasoning, English and all. No, not at all. There'll be a mistake. Swaroop, no, I would not advise on the mock test platform. You know the 4 or 5 big names. Just go through the tests and decide for yourself. Manish, go through a few of our mock analysis sessions. You will find on this channel. There is a playlist for mock analysis sessions. Just go through a few of these. You will understand how to, on when to leave a question. We have done detailed analysis available here on this channel. I think it's early 10 going on right now, with which you can get a 10% discount on the course fee. Rohini, you still have got a couple of years left. You couldn't clear the exam. I can understand the disappointment, but don't give up at this stage. I mean, if you think there is still, some fuel left, बचा है कुछ ईंधन अभी काम करने के लिए, तो एक बार और try कर लो यार. You may get at 29. Will not be such a disappointment that way. You don't make it, your situation would not get any worse. I hate saying this, but अभी खराब position है और बहुत ज़्यादा खराब नहीं हो जाएगी. But if you make it next year and you really think you stand a chance of making it next year, करना चाहिए try. If you think you've tried everything, कुछ भी नहीं बनता है, then you should start looking at an alternate career option. I hope you do not need any foundation course यार. बैंक का एग्जाम है, कौन सा IT चाहिए? Give me a job in merit shine. You want to take my job, Shyam Kumar? No, yaar, don't do that. Is it okay to study 15 hours a day? Manual? No, 15 hours a day is not required. यार पागल हो जाओगे, क्या करोगे? 10-12 घंटा should be okay if you are giving it, your full attention. 10-12 hours a day should be good. कुछ तो अपने लिए भी चाहिए ना. Entertainment is also important. Fine, but the modes of entertainment should be such that they actually contribute to your preparation. So, rather than spending time on video games, for just an example, spend time playing cricket or badminton or soccer or something like that. Health bhi banegi usse. So, find some modes of entertainment. So, rather than spending time on web series, spend time in a gymnasium or a playground or something like that. Have good hobbies, that's good. You do not expect to study for 15 hours. Probably when you're close to the exam, then push it a little more, but yeah, around 10 hours should be good for you. Raghuram, you'll need to look at what's going wrong. It's very difficult to give a blanket advice for something like this. For all the people who have not done well or struggled to score a 50, there cannot be a single piece of advice. Analyze your mock test scores and try to figure out what's going wrong. You will find your answer yourself. They can be, if somebody claims to give just one piece of advice to everyone, it cannot be customized advice. It has to be very generic advice. Something like work hard, work harder, study as much as you can. I can give you this kind of an advice, but if you want some specifics, you can only get it after you look into what's happening with you. So your problem would be different from somebody else's. If there are 10 people who are doing like this, सबके अलग-अलग problems होंगे. So figure out that problem and then act accordingly. Roshan, you just have taken 2 attempts. I don't think you have a reason to leave this preparation at this stage. 2-3 attempts तो यार लग ही सकते हैं. I mean, it's a highly competitive exam, no? Pavan, you can try doing those PDFs as well, but I would say that since PDFs can be old as well, focus more on using a mock test series. Practice questions, sectional tests, full length mock tests, everything from a test series. Right. So guys, I believe I have been able to handle these questions, and a lot of stuff was repeated. So you'll do well by watching this recording. So this will be available on the channel. Just go through it once more. I have addressed everything from mock tests to subjects and whether you should continue your preparation or is it time to quit, and all these kind of things. So just watch it once. We have been talking for the last couple of hours, so I believe I have been able to help you, guide you with this, and we'll keep talking, we'll keep meeting in between, right? So बात करते रहेंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. You can drop your problem in the comments and I'll go through it. We'll make another video or do a live session. We can answer even in the comments. So yes, they'll be there. जो भी हो लिखना है यहाँ पर, हो जाएगा, चिंता मत करो. 2023, it's a lot of time left still. It's a lot of time left still. I am always in favor of you starting early. हमेशा ही अच्छा होता है start करना early. But अगर आपका SBI 2020 का एग्ज़ाम बचा हुआ है, तो think about that first. You still have time for it. And then look at 2023, right? If you're somebody whose season is over, practically, start for 2023 right away. Do not wait for it. Do not waste a day. एक दिन ले लो चलो. But festive season, Christmas, New Year types. But ज़्यादा टाइम मत खराब करो. Time is important. Ultimately, for two people who have similar capability, similar potential, what becomes the differentiator? Think about it. I and you say are at same level in terms of intelligence, preparedness and everything. For example, who would win it in the end? Think about that. One who gives more time to it, isn't it? Time is precious. Don't waste it. Utilize it judiciously. I'm not saying don't do any entertainment, don't indulge in any activity that gives you pleasure, fun. No, it's really important to be healthy. When a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. खेलो, खाओ, अच्छे से खुश रहो, सब कुछ करो, but don't waste time. So when you end a day, जब आप सोने जाते हो शाम को, पूछा करो अपने आप से, what did I do today that contributed to my journey towards becoming an SBI PO, for that matter an IBPS PO, whatever is your target. If the answer is not much, you need to pull up your socks, start doing better. If the answer is yes, I did this, pat yourself in the back and think I will do better tomorrow, कल और अच्छा करूँगा. That should be the spirit. I'll take a leave, guys. I've been talking to you for a couple of hours. I'm tired now. Fine. I hope you make good use of this session. We'll do it again after probably in the new year now. So yes, make good use of this. Those of you who are preparing for SBI PO, करो यार अच्छे से. Those of you who are preparing for interview, expecting interview call, वो भी ठीक से करो. Enjoy करो festivities को, but don't waste time, right? And I'll see you in 2023 now. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a very, very Happy New Year. The course is open for those people who want to take admission. There's an early bird offer going on. You can get admitted into it and start working right away. Make the new year very special for you, for the 2022 aspirants and even for the people who want to do it for the next year. I wish you all the best for your journey. Make it fun for yourself. Start enjoying this phase, this preparation, and it'll go well. Sab badhiya yoga. All the best.